back to our channel. It's Zonal Marking with you again, and today we're going to introduce you Team of the Year in Bundesliga by Zonal Marking. So we would like to start with the goalkeeper. In the goalkeeper position we have Jan Sommer. He played a lot of games this season. He made a lot of saves. Do you remember how many saves he made this season?
Yes, if I'm not wrong, he has made 109 saves throughout the 30 games that he's played. And just to say, out of all the 33 games he played in, he was the starting goalkeeper and played the entire 90 minutes.
Yeah, and his pass success percentage is also very good.
Now moving on to the left back position, we have the Canadian youngster Alphonso Davies, who got a season to Bayern Munich this year. And as we know, he became the Rookie of the Year in the Bundesliga. Clearly, it's because of the great performances he's displayed. He was the starting left back at such a young age. You know, that doesn't really happen usually, especially in such a team like Bayern Munich. But yeah, what can you say about him?
Yeah, he's very strong. He is very fast. Whenever he loses the ball, he wins it back very quick. And in the Rookie of the Year award, Erling Haaland also was in that nomination. But of course, Alphonso, he outplayed him. He showed better performance. And of course, these are different position players. But Alphonso is a great player and an amazing new player for Bayern Munich. Next in the center back position, we have Mats Hummels from Borussia Dortmund. He's very experienced center back. He in tackling per game this season, he has a rating of 1.83, and interceptions per game it's 1.90, and clearances per game is 3.30. So this is the highest results that center back showed in Bundesliga.
Yeah, and I just want to say this about Mats Hummels. You know, he's a really smart defender. Not only is he really strong physically, but we know that he's good in the air with aerial headers and everything. But this is a defender that likes to play the ball. He's really smart. He can read the game and everything.
Yeah, and when you visually see his game, you see that he puts a lot of positive effort in for Borussia Dortmund, and he also has very good long passes from defense to the attacking play. That is helping Dortmund a lot this season.
Yeah, and he's also given 3 assists throughout the 30 games that he's played in the Bundesliga.
So this statistics that I just said, this is the highest class in Bundesliga, this league for center back.
Yes, and now moving on to the second center back that we have, it's Lars Bender from Bayer Leverkusen. Now this is another experienced center back. He's been around for a really long time in the Bundesliga, and he has played 32 games in the Bundesliga, which all of them were starting appearances. And he's the minutes per game that he's played is 82 minutes. So you know he has really good stamina. But this is another really physical center back that's good in the air, and he has great tackling.
Yeah, and for his defensive skills for this season, his tackles per game rating is 1.59, and interceptions per game is 2.03, and clearances per game is 2.53. So when you compare and look at the players in Bundesliga, these are the second highest results after Mats Hummels.
Yeah, by stability and everything, these are the two players that stand out.
Yep. And then in the right back position, we have Achraf Hakimi, who plays for Borussia Dortmund on loan from Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid really need this player. He's a high quality player. He's very fast. He's attacking. Lucien Favre this season, he transformed his right back position into a right winger. So we see him often play in the right wing position, but also he is good in defending and in attacking. This season he scored 5 goals and gave 10 assists. But when we look at his defensive attributes, his tackles per game are 1.88, interceptions 0.91, and clearances are 0.62.
Yeah, and Achraf Hakimi, you know, he's a player that he's been changing his positions a lot in the years throughout his past. For example, if we look back when he was in the academy in the Castilla in Real Madrid, he was originally actually a left back, so he was in a completely different side of the field. And we saw him getting subbed in for Marcelo sometimes, you know, in his first debut season in Real Madrid. And then after that, Zinedine Zidane, he put him in the right back position, from which he got loaned down to Borussia Dortmund, and now he's actually a right winger. So
yeah, and this season he took 38 shots on goal, and his pass success percentage is 85, which is not bad. It's actually very good.
Yeah, and he's given 10 assists and 5 goals, which is really good, you know. So there's a lot more to come from him, in my opinion, in the future years.
Yeah.
Now in the center defensive position, we have Joshua Kimmich from Bayern Munich. This is another great midfielder, and this guy, he's great at passing. He's given 2,540 successful passes this season, and his passing success rate is 90%, which is incredibly high.
Yeah, and he scored 4 goals and gave 7 assists. So we picked him for a defensive midfielder position, and when we look at his defensive attributes, his tackles per game rating is 1.62, interceptions per game rating is 0.91, and clearances per game rating is 0.78. So he's a very quality player. He's very reliable in the attacking and also defensive sides of the field. But he's a key player for Bayern and also for the German national team. He's a leader in the German national team. And then I remember his goal to Borussia Dortmund, his beautiful chip goal.
And just looking at his attacking qualities this season, he's scored 4 goals and given 7 assists, and he's taken 26 shots. So he really likes to shoot outside of the box a lot throughout games, and he's a danger to the goalkeeper.
In the right wing position, we have Kai Havertz from Borussia Leverkusen. He's a youngster, also a breakthrough player. A lot of big clubs want to sign him for this summer. He scored 12 goals in Bundesliga and gave 6 assists. So he's a very good player. He's good at passing. And what can you say about Havertz?
I've been watching Kai Havertz for a really long time now. I remember him 2 years ago when he only started making a couple appearances for Bayer Leverkusen. You could clearly tell that this guy will have a really bright future. He's great at giving passes, as you said, but he also has great long shots. He can cross the ball, and he's also really strong for a young player.
Yeah, and this is not the only good season that he had. He also had a fantastic last season in Bayer Leverkusen, so he also, in the eyes of Joachim Löw, for the German national team.
And now moving on to the left wing position, we have Jadon Sancho, the Englishman from Borussia Dortmund. This is another young player that we have. He scored 17 goals and given 16 assists this season, which is incredible for such a young player. And this is his 2nd year in Borussia Dortmund, so we can tell that he's really adapting really good to the Bundesliga. And 31 appearances, 25 of which were starting appearances. This is just great.
Yeah, he's a very good player. He's very good at dribbling. He's also a pacey player, and he's a key player for Borussia Dortmund as well. And he scored 17 goals and gave 16 assists, so he puts a lot of contribution for Borussia Dortmund game. And this is just reflects in the Borussia Dortmund game because they finished 2nd in Bundesliga.
Yeah.
And then in the central attacking midfield position, we have Thomas Muller. He's very good at passing, so this season he gave 20 assists, and he repeated the all-time Bundesliga record, which had Kevin De Bruyne when he played for Wolfsburg. So under the new manager of Bayern Munich, Hansi Flick, Thomas Muller, he just opened himself again. The old coach Niko Kovac, under him he wasn't playing that much. But yeah, this was an amazing season for Thomas Muller, and he became champions with Bayern Munich this season.
Yeah, and we can say that we really started seeing Thomas Muller in a really different way this season. He really opened himself up as a playmaker more than ever. 20 assists, that's an incredible number for such a player, especially to adapt into such a role at an older age is not so easy to do, and he's doing really good with that.
Yeah, and he also scored 6 goals, which is also not bad, so that means he also can score goals.
And now for one of the strikers, we clearly picked Robert Lewandowski. He scored the most goals in the Bundesliga this season, was 33 goals. That's incredible for a striker. And as we know, he's a really reliable forward. He's been scoring goals every year. So, 30 appearances and 33 goals, which means he's been scoring more than 1 goal on average per game. And, to be precise, it's 1.10 goals per game. That's just incredible in my opinion. What can you say about him?
Yeah, and I mean, of course, Robert Lewandowski, right now, he's the best number 9 in the world. He scores a lot of goals, and he's a goal machine. Every season, he keeps scoring a lot of goals. And he was the reason, I think, why Bayern won the Bundesliga this season, and he's one of the biggest leaders in Bayern Munich. And for the second striker position, we have Timo Werner. He plays for Leipzig. He scored 26 goals this season and gave assists. And then Chelsea wanted to buy him, and it's a done deal. As we know, Werner is going to move to Chelsea to the Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, for such a young striker, 26 goals and 8 assists is a great number. We can tell that he doesn't only score goals but also gives assists, and that is because he's so pacey and he can play more of a right winger position. So, we can see him cross the ball or, do 1-2s with the striker. He's just a great player, a top talent, and Chelsea are surely lucky to have him.
Yeah, and he's, as you said, he's pacey, and he's the main player in Julian Nagelsmann's starting 11 lineup. So we will see how Leipzig will manage to sign another player who's also to replace him. So it's gonna be tough for sure, but Werner is a very good player. So yeah, guys, this was the Team of the Year by zonal marking for Bundesliga this season, 2019-2020 season. And there's only one match left in Bundesliga. Thomas Muller gave the most assists this season, and Robert Lewandowski became the top goal scorer this season, and we can see that Bayern Munich dominated this year a lot.
Yeah, but thank you for watching this video. Leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. But thank you guys for being with us again. This was Zonal Marking, and remember,
all for football
and football for all.
Have a nice day. Goodbye.